This is the unboxing video of the JetJoe 1800 do-it-yourself kit from Shanghai. It's come all the way from Shanghai, China, and it was sent to me by Jason from JetJoe. Okay, so in the box, as I've already opened it to look into it, this is the stator, which consists of the turbine on one end, the ceramic bearing and the shaft, and another ceramic bearing, and the impeller. This is the most important part of the jet engine, and it's been balanced according to Jason from JetJoe, but when we remove it, we'll have to put it back exactly the same way. The next part that we have is the tail cone of the jet, and as it's a do-it-yourself, it's all in different parts and sections, as you can see. The next part is the front part of the engine, which has the starter with a Bendix clutch over here, the Bendix clutch, and the cable which goes to the FedEx unit. Okay, then we come to a few other parts of the engine, which is the tubing for the gas and the fuel. The orange is for the gas, and the transparent tubing is for the fuel. The next item is the RPM sensor, which fits on the front part of the turbine, and it picks up all the RPM of the engine to tell the FedEx what to do next. Focus is not correct. So the next part is the main engine, which consists of the combustion chamber, as you can see, with the holes over here and the glow plug attachment point. You have the tubes which run for the gas, which come into this inlet, and the other two are for the fuel. And you have a separator in between to give equal amount of fuel to both sides. As you can see, this is the exhaust guide vanes, and you have the inlet guide vanes, which are on the other part. This is the outer cover of the engine. Yeah, as you can see, it goes in this way and fits perfectly. As I've noticed so far, the workmanship is quite good for the price that you pay. And yeah, this is the front part. And it goes on that way. So that's already looking like a turbine engine. Then you have the temperature sensor, which is mounted onto the engine eventually and bent at the tip to give you engine temperature sensors, again for the FedEx to give you all the readings and for the fail-safe systems on it. Next out of the box is the gas tank. A little dented on arrival, but doesn't make a difference because it's not damaged completely or leaking. This is for the onboard gas system. So it has gas on board, so you don't have to attach a gas can to it. I have a LiPo battery, which is a 7.4 volt, 1500 milliamps, 15C, and it's by jetjoe. So you might have to use a bigger battery for that. Then you have the monitor, which is connected to the FedEx system to change any settings that are required to be changed. Monitor comes in a nice plastic box and quite robust and hardy. You have the FOD guard, which is again a must for all turbines, so it doesn't take in any FODs and destroy the turbines. And it goes right here, like that, and fits back onto the engine. It's just a protective measure, so the FOD doesn't go into it. It's exactly like that. Okay, the next out of the box is the fuel and gas solenoids. The minimalist look for the gas and fuel solenoids. So these solenoids will will make sure that there's a cutoff between the gas tank and the engine, and it will cut off the gas or the fuel whenever it goes into fail-safe mode. It's a 5 volt DC, 10 psi valve, and there are two of them, one for the gas and one for the fuel. More packing material, and we come to the FedEx. The FedEx unit is the brain of the entire engine. It's quite minimalist again. There is no plastic box around it, and it's just covered in heat shrink. But I guess for lightness and for practicality, it's okay as long as it works. So the FedEx has got the RPM sensor, the aux in and aux 2. It's got fuel valve, thermocouple, throttle in, pitot and gas valve. And on the other side, you can see the pump connector and the glow plug connector on one side. So the next out of the box is the pump. As I've explained before, it connects to the FedEx unit via another cable, and the pump is what gives fuel to the engine at a constant pressure, and also increases and decreases when you increase and decrease the throttle. It's a 7.2 volt pump, model J400 from jetjoe. Next out of the box is a few more cables. As I've explained, it's cables that go into the FedEx. This one is for the glow plug. As you can see, the glow plug is already attached at the base over here with the ground earthing wire and the wire for the pump. Next wire is for the battery and for the pump, for the fuel pump. A few more bags of accessories, the Festo fittings with a fuel filter in between, and you have nuts and bolts is the Festo fitting with the fuel filter, the nuts and bolts which cover the engine empty holes, an extension cord which is a JR type extension, and a fuel cap for the butane gas from the main tank. I'll open it and show you. It's a very well made valve. It's a very well made valve and will fit onto the gas canister. Then next out of the box is the straps for the engine. These are the straps which are required to mount the engine to the mount on the aircraft or on the test bench. They are required to be bent in a circular fashion around the engine and thereafter put together. So we'll be bending that a little later so that we can get it to fit perfectly, both the straps. Then one of jetjoe's bits of paper for the assembly of the engine, which gives you a little do-it-yourself instructions for the inserting of the stator and a spacer in between to make sure that it doesn't touch anything. So that's all we have on the unboxing of the jetjoe 1800, and I'll be back with a second video on the installation of all the parts and the completion of the assembly of the jetjoe 1800 auto start.